Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Comic Source Podcast. I'm your host, Jace, here to talk about a Kickstarter today that has done gangbusters in the first 24 hours. I have the Bad Idea crew with me, Dinesh Shamdasani, Adam Freeman, Josh Johns. Thanks for joining me early in the morning, gentlemen.
B for bad. Is that a B? How do you do a B? Bad idea.
Oh, nice.
Bad,
Nice.
bad idea.
There you
Got
go.
there. You'll edit that out, right, Chase?
I'll edit that. 100%.
I just want to say how nice it is. I love coming on your show because, like, Josh with his beautiful head of hair is the odd man out. It's my favorite thing about this. Yeah,
I'm growing out the hair. I'm gonna see what I still got. So I'm gonna take it through the summer. I've been short haired for 4 or 5 years now. I'm just gonna see probably one last stand. You know, this is my commando of the.
enjoy it while you got it, baby.
Exactly. Before you know it. But you guys definitely weren't pulling your hair out in terms of the success the first day. I know there's always some nervousness when a Kickstarter kicks off. And I remember talking to this before the first Kickstarter, the Stop Bad Idea, and it did a little over 100, 110 in the first 24 hour, first day. Adam and I were talking about it. So I'm watching this one yesterday, and I checked it at midnight, right around 12 hours for the first day. $227,000. So I got to say congratulations, and I guess we'll start with you, Josh. What were your expectations? I mean, did you think it would go that hard, that quick?
I don't know. Certainly, we had a lot of confidence, right? And it's hard not to when you look at these pages, when you work with a writer like Matt Kindt, when you have a team like ours. So it's hard not to start to hope and imagine that the thing that you love so much has captured your imagination, like Megalith has captured ours, won't be shared by the larger comics and storytelling community. But you totally never know. So yeah, there's some anxiety. But if you're gonna go to war, you want to go to war with a book that's this beautiful, that's this wonderfully scripted, that's this vibrantly colored, that's this expertly lettered. You want this thing if you're gonna do it.
Yeah. Now, Adam, you and I, we were both at South Carolina Comic-Con. We were encouraging people to sign up for the Kickstarter.
That's right.
Kind of know ahead of time, hey, when is this going to launch? And then you guys did a full court blitz on or full court press, I should say, on social media in the events leading up to this. So do you attribute the success with the hard work you guys put in ahead of time before Kickstarter even launched behind the scenes?
Oh my! I mean, any campaign like this, any launch like this has, well, in this case, years of work ahead of time. But this whole thing has been an amplification. You see how incredible this book is coming together. You realize it has to be special. So you say, what did we do to make this package special? And then once you've done that, you say, well, how do we make that viable? And then once you've done that, you say, well, how do we build a program that's actually going to launch it in the way that it deserves to be launched? So, yeah, I mean, in many ways it's been years, but this specific, I mean, that was what, a month ago or so that we were really focusing on telling people to sign up so that they know when it comes in. It's been like that for several months, right up until the moment that it hit go. Yeah, absolutely.
And yet, this has been a long time in the works, Dinesh. And I think when you first told me about Bad Idea, I think it was a dinner at WonderCon or something way back, I think 2018 even.
Yeah.
You mentioned Matt Kindt. You showed me some, art from Lewis. Yeah, labor of love for sure. But it really showcases one of the things I love most about Bad Idea. You give the projects the time they need to be their absolute best. It's not about, hey, we got to hit some schedule, we got to hit some artificial deadline, we need the revenue, or whatever reason. You're giving the projects the time they need so the creators can give you their best work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at the pages behind you. Thank you for doing that, by the way. That's awesome. And I'm still marveling at just how much Lewis and Laura are putting into this. And then Taylor's coming in, and he's doing a crazy job as well. It's a dream team. But yeah, the three of us have done comics the traditional way, the normal way. And we were very lucky to be successful there. We found out, I think, what worked, and we brought that with us, and we found a lot of things that we thought maybe there's something different that can be done. And one of them is the most valuable resource you can give any creative endeavor is time. We really wanted to see what would happen. And the pages, I think, already show you the quality difference if you let something grow the way it wants to grow. Wait till you read the story, man. I mean, I'm looking again at your background, that bottom right page, the one of the big megalith with his shield up, is the very first part of one of the most epic battles I've ever seen in any medium. I mean, it's just Matt and Lewis going all out.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out as well. I mean, the scope, I was talking to Lewis on Twitter yesterday, and the guy has done an amazing job his entire career. Like, his body of work is unparalleled. And to me, he's, and again, maybe it speaks to how much time he has to do this and that freedom. But this is the biggest thing, the best thing that I think I've ever seen. And I haven't even seen it all yet. And I think it goes back to just the scope. Like, Matt has written this incredibly huge story. I mean, Megalith, right? I mean, it's so aptly named. And just the scope in these images, I'm constantly blown away by it. So, Josh, Dinesh just mentioned this. After years of you guys putting comics together, this might be the pinnacle. Do you think it's the best thing you guys have done together as a team?
I don't think I said pinnacle. Who's putting a spin on
you
us?
didn't say pinnacle, and you said that it speaks to giving Lewis the time he needs.
We already know what's coming next, man. This is definitely not the pinnacle. We're going
high. Okay. And I know I'm asking Josh to pick a favorite child here, but how about up to this point, you think this is one of the best things you guys have done?
Certainly, it's an amazing story. I think it's the comic that most represents the potential for the bad idea strategy, to answer your question. So this comic is everything that we've kind of installed in the bad idea, letting creators, go first, letting stories give the time they need to be created. Everything from the seasonal model to, where we're going to place our comic books. This is encapsulated in this book that's taken, 5 years to create, and has been such a loving endeavor, and now was marketed in this fashion, has so much enthusiasm. So, is it the best thing we've ever done? I think it's one of the best things, that are in comics, period, today. Not us, the entire industry. I think this is going to be one of the crowning achievements of this year, of this decade of comic books. But I think that's more impressively, it's representative of exactly what we're trying to do here at Bad Idea. It's crystallization of all of our hopes for Bad Idea are in this comic book.
Yeah, that's an excellent way to put it, and I'll throw this out for anybody who wants to kind of address it, because I was thinking about that as well. As these images were coming in, and Megalith was kind of being talked about yesterday, launch day. A lot of people were jumping on and talking about what tier they got, and we'll talk about the rewards in a little bit, everybody. But the thing about what you guys do, a lot of times you're getting press, or you're getting attention because of the crazy stunts you do, and it's fantastic marketing. This, I think, stands on its own in terms of, hey, you can look at the pages, you can look at the quality and say, this thing's going to be around forever. It's going to be talked about forever, because I think it is so special and unique and amazing. And that was kind of the attention that it was getting yesterday. And I kind of felt like this has maybe been a long time coming in terms of quality, because I think not enough people talk about Bad Idea stories. They're talking about the crazy stunts you guys do. Mm-hmm. But this might change that, I think. So anybody have any comments about that?
That's part of a larger arc that we're very conscious to kind of instrument for the company. We need to be, as a new publisher, we need to be very, very noisy up front, and then slowly expand the narrative about the company to the creators, the stories, the quality of the books. Someone that jumped on right away, you see from the beginning, right from Hero Trade through ENIAC, through what now the last slate, we try to make the best books we possibly can, and they are some of the best books, if not the best books in the business. That message will over time grow and grow and grow. Megalith is absolutely a piece in that. Megalith is absolutely, I think, now a big milestone piece in that. It may even be the fork in the road, where we turn into a company that people are talking about as everything they do we want to take a look at, because they'll take the time to cook it correctly.
Yeah. To piggyback on what Dinesh said, a lot of people talk about the marketing, and that's awesome. It's very loud. It's very purposeful. We do everything there to be loud and to keep this publisher thriving. But the marketing has always been that you cannot do any of the shit that we do if the editorial isn't top notch. It's always been that way. So the marketing is built on top of the strength of the editorial, not the other way around. If we just do all the crazy marketing and the books suck, it's clown company. Nobody cares. There's no substance there. The insane editorial our creators have handed us and built with us. That's why the marketing is what it is. It gives us that ability.
Yes, you have to start.
Also, kind of want to. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, the foundation has to be good books, and then it allows you to do all the other stuff. Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
And I want to say that like everybody on this call has worked for multiple publishers, and each one of them has been, I'm sorry, my wife's calling just as we're talking. Each one of them has you learned something, but all the
Oh,
publishers that are in the realm today are all working towards one. At their best, they're going to do one big push a year. They're going to do one book they give all the time to, one marketing push they put all the attention to. The beauty of what we're doing here is that we get to do that with nearly everything, and give it the time it needs to grow and give us the opportunity to market it properly. And sometimes that feels like an anomaly, but it shouldn't be. That should be the standard. It should be the standard that you put out. Everything you put out, you're proud of, and everything you put out, you're as loud as you can be.
Yeah, and you're willing to spend the time, promoting it and saying, "Hey, I stand behind this. I think this is a fantastic book." The quality of this, and again, I think that speaks to the way you guys set it up. That you give things the time that it needs, and you're not putting, you're for lack of a better term, you're not vomiting out content, week after week after week. So take that for what you will. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about some of the tiers that are available, and what, if anybody hasn't pledged, like what, there's like extra books that you can only get during the Kickstarter and that sort of thing. So who wants to kind of tackle that?
anyone?
Dinesh, why don't you take this one away?
We went hard on this one. I mean, obviously the main offering is, this is all built, I should say. This is all built. We looked at the book, obviously we want to put single issues out in comic stores, in the Bad Idea Destination stores. And we realized we needed to elevate the offering that we were going to put into stores to match the ambition and the scope of the creative. Can't just do even the quality of the books that we do with the really nice cardstock covers and the laminate and small glosses. We had to go bigger. We had a big conversation internally about what is the most luxury top end comic book single issue we've ever seen, any of us. And we came to Marvel's, the Alex Ross series, with the beautiful acetate covers. And we started to play with acetate. We started to play with that really nice cardstock. We started to play with the idea of acetate over cardstock and what kind of effect that can have. We got very excited, and we found something we think will be the new pinnacle, we hope. But financially, it's completely irresponsible to do that. So we thought, okay, let's do good promotion as well. Let's do a Kickstarter, raise the funds to make that a reality. And here we have the main offerings, a big, awesome hardcover. It's the entire Megalith story. We've got 8 short stories from other creators and Matt Kindt, but it's like a who's who of comics artists. They've come to celebrate Lewis. So people like Miko Soyan, Lenio Francis Yu, James Harron. I'm most excited about James Harron. Just love his work. Thomas Giorello. I'm trying to think. The others I can't say yet. We haven't announced them. But they're all of that caliber. Joe Quesada. Got a Megalith Zero, 8 stories. This big main series with Lewis and Matt Kindt, Laura Martin, Taylor Esposito. And then we've got hold on, turn that shit off. And then we've got a bunch of kind of higher end things like Lewis provided. He's never done a commission list ever. He provided us with a handful of original art sketches. He's going to overpaint some of the hardcovers, like hand overpaint them. They'll become art pieces themselves. We've got a toy, a Megalith toy. And then we've got some kind of wacky stuff on the super high end. Get one of everything Bad Idea produces for the next 6 months, that kind of thing. So we've really gone all out. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to say to people, if you want Megalith, here's your tier. If you want to go a little nuts, we're going to over deliver. We try to make our Kickstarters feel very much like we're being generous. And so I think at the higher tiers you're getting, I mean, it's going to be a huge box, if not multiple boxes of stuff when it all gets delivered. Did I miss anything there, guys?
I mean, you missed my favorite piece, which is the box.
Right. Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we did was
Premium
we've been
home
working.
exhibition case.
What's that?
Premium home exhibition case.
The premium home exhibition case. That's right. We've been working in the background to develop this box this premium home exhibition case that is where your overpainted hardcover with the original art is going to come inside of this box. It's inside of this case. Sorry. And when you open up this case, there's a video playing immediately of Matt Kindt talking to you or Lewis LaRosa. It's going to be them talking to you about as they're signing your book, as they're talking, you know, as you are experiencing this book for the first time, you're also getting that personal experience you would get if you were buying it directly from them at a convention. But you get that over and over again. It's going to become the thing you keep in the background of your Zoom call, you know?
Imagine this, Jace. You get this big, awesome, bad idea, megalith, gift, luxury display case, museum kind of grade stuff. This is where we pulled it from, Museum Tech. Open it up. There's your hardcover. It's the premium, overpainted, hand overpainted by Lewis. It's got a signed book plate in there by Matt Kindt. It's got a piece of original art inside the book. It's got the entire story, really high quality value. But that's not the thing you're most excited about, because the inside lid is a screen and it immediately starts playing, and they're the creators going, "Hey, Jace, thanks for helping us. Thanks for supporting us. We wanted to talk to you about that." It's like a in-person museum video installation experience and an awesome display piece all at once. Brand new tech. No one's ever done it in comics before. I don't think anyone's done it anywhere before, frankly. And people seem to be excited about it. That's how you do it, Adam.
Well, I think it was my first time pitching on a video. So,
Mine too.
thank you. Thanks for showing me the way.
Yeah, I mean, definitely one of a kind, definitely a showpiece, for sure. And the campaign's done so well already. And again, you mentioned that the idea of this: get something special, get something deluxe, get something personal, and then later it helps to fund the getting the single issues into the store. But I do have to ask, because based on the success of day one here, any stretch goals in mind? I know they weren't announced originally. Not that you guys aren't giving us enough already, but just curious.
Who wants to tackle that? Josh?
Yeah, happy to. Something that we're thinking about, something that we're not going to reveal everything that we have going on in the campaign. The campaign's 30 days for a reason. Obviously, it's well known. Kickstarter opening couple days. That's a lot of your fundraising ability. And so we could have done 48 hours and been very successful. But this book is bigger than that. It's a world bigger than that. It has more opportunity than that. So other just to give you the bullshitty marketing answer of stay tuned, we will have more surprises coming your way on the page.
In the vein of two we've already done. Do you want to talk about the two that we've already announced? The first day and the retention and the return backers club.
I'll take the first one. So the return backers. Anyone that was backed at the level of they were previously backed at Stop Bad Idea back in 2022, or above, gets the an incredible cover from Joe Quesada, colored by actually worked on this project.
Richard Asanoff.
Of course, the bloody arm variant going all the way back to buttoned up comics in the very first days of Bad Idea. They it's a wonderful tribute and homage to David Lapham's original cover to that. They're going to get that totally free in their box just for backing at the level they did or above. So that's one thing, and that's more innovative than just tossing up a nice little tree that says every time you guys give us $1, we're going to toss a goal that we were already going to a goal that we were already going to do anyway. We try to be a little bit more creative and innovative like that. So there's more in that vein. Did Ash, you want to hit the other one?
Yeah, I just want to say also, I've seen a lot of people online talk about, like, I cannot believe you guys got Quesada to do this thing, because he's never, as far as I know, he's never done an R-rated cover, an R-rated piece of art. But this thing is the guy's arm is chopped off. You see bone, muscle, blood, but it's all incredibly rendered. It's very graphic because he's got such a good eye, and it's hilarious because this wasn't our idea. He came in, he did the cover. We're going to do a black and white version and a color version of the cover, because we got a black and white interior and a color interior for the last campaign. And then, like, 6 weeks later, we're talking to him and he just shoots us an email and says, I had an idea. I'm going to mock it up. You guys don't mind about me pushing the envelope a little bit? And we're like, what are you talking about? Sure, whatever. And he sends us his cover and he's like, what do you think? Is it interesting? Yours for free. If you like it, use it. No problem. For free. Like, why? Why did you do this? Why is he still thinking about this cover 6 weeks later? I mean, he really ingested Matt and David's world of the hero trade. And then Richard Asanoff he saw and he was like, yeah, I'll just give you a quick patch for the arm. No charge. Again, no charge. So we also felt like, well, we can't now go out and charge for this. These guys are kind of doing this out of the love of the game. So we got to do the same thing. And we're going to pass on to the reader if they come in and back again at the same tier or higher. So it's kind of like a nice thing. It's a testament to the quality of the work that David Lapham and Matt Kindt are doing. Everyone's just coming and having fun at the party.
Just while you're talking about Joe Dinesh, you asked earlier tiers we're excited about. Adam went way up there. My favorite tier, bar none, is at the $40. Anyone can get this thing. It's Joe Quesada doing the cover for Megalith #0. Like everything begins there. Joe Quesada now returning to Zero Issues, maybe the most famous, issue 0 artist of all time. Certainly did one of my I think Exo-Man War #0 is like a top 5 comic individual issue ever made. I think it's very important to everyone in our room. I know it's important to you, Dinesh. And when we were looking at the opportunity of doing, Megalith 0, that real origin, again, $40 tier, anyone can get it. If you cannot trust Joe Quesada, Matt Kindt, us at $40, hit bricks, pal. You're not ready for this year's comics. But I think it's fantastic. I've seen some of the early design for the cover. It's gonna blow people's socks off. So if you want to just take your introductory taste of Bad Idea, no better place than Megalith #0 with a cover by Joe Quesada. That's the thing that I'm the most buzzed about right now.
Yeah, and there was a special reward for anybody that backed the first day. This is also interesting. Maybe you can talk about it, Adam. Everybody knows about the first customer pins that you get show up. At your Bad Idea destination store, and you're the first one through the door and buy each of the first issues. You get that special pin, and there's not a lot of them because there's not a lot of Bad Idea stores. So there's probably going to be more of this first button or first pin than any of them based on the success of the first day. But what made you guys decide to do a first customer pin for this campaign, Adam?
Well, there are going to be a lot of them because there's a huge there's a huge return show up for our first day, which is incredible. But I do want to take a moment and talk about the genius behind the gold pin, who's right underneath me in my Zoom, which is Josh Johns. Like he came up with this idea to really push people to come to stores on the first day, and it's been an incredible piece for all of our destination stores because it's given them something to focus on the first day and to promote and to talk about their Bad Idea fans and talk about that what the culture of Bad Ideas is at their stores on social and in their store. It's been an incredible piece for our program. I mean, for our entire company. So it seemed like a nice fit in this, and that it gives us a thing that is unique to Bad Idea, that people will show up. They show up for our stuff because they know how much we put into it, and they know how much excitement we build around it. So as Josh mentioned, we in a very Bad Idea way, we are going to be pushing on this Kickstarter all the way through, much in the same way that when a book comes out, we don't stop promoting it just because it's on shelves. We're going to continue to be promoting this Kickstarter on a regular basis. And you're going to have to pay attention because there is always going to be something new. You cannot turn away.
Yeah. Right. Actually, that's the most important piece, right? Is these are examples of programs that we've announced rather than stretch goals, and we have more coming. So stay tuned. In fact, I don't know if we can say this or not, but there is a hidden thing. Should we? I mean, it's today's the day, right? I mean, start today.
I mean,
what do you guys think?
It's there.
I think it's going up as soon as our meeting in an hour, right? So I don't know how much. There is a hidden thing. There is a thing today. I don't know how much you want to say, Dinesh.
So this is what we're doing. We can tell you a little bit. We're gonna announce it in a little bit. We're going to introduce into the campaign. We didn't want to do it day one. It's now going to go up day 2 and onwards. We're going to hide within the campaign. We'll make a couple small, tiny edits throughout, and we're going to hide a secret hidden code. And hopefully someone will find the code, and we're hoping the community of backers will decipher the code. And if they decipher the code, it will give them instructions for, let's say, an outcome equivalent to a stretch goal. They won't have to do anything beyond that. Outcome equivalent to a stretch goal. They'll just have to follow the instructions. And that's another program that we've got in place. We're excited about that one. Matt Kindt actually came in, and because he's a big nerd about codes and espionage, and helped us build the direction for the code and how it's going to work. That's another program. That's the next one that'll go out there. We've got a couple more following behind that as well that we're excited about.
So did they unlock this stretch goal, if you will, or the special incentive for everybody, or just the person that discovers it first?
Anybody. So the first person to discover it hopefully won't be able to crack it, and the community will help crack it. And then once it's cracked, anyone that follows those instructions will be able to claim that reward. You've got to go, follow the instructions, you got to slay the demon, get the treasure.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, it's been awesome chatting about Megalith. Is there anything about the campaign that we didn't cover that you guys want listeners to know about?
Just that this is, everyone's done incredible work. I think our team has worked very hard, Matt, Laura, Taylor, but I think all of us want to do a special shout out for Lewis. This is his magnum opus, man. He has put so much into this. He's physically degraded his body to put this work out there. I think that he's incredibly proud of this book. We're incredibly proud of him, frankly. We cannot wait for the whole world to see what he and Matt have cooked up, because it is not just cinematic and revolutionary and beautifully rendered. It's also an incredibly moving and bombastic story. And you know, we'll see. He's talking about this being the last interiors he ever does. This is his like sign off, and then he'll just do covers going forward. We'll see. You know, it's sometimes we have artists that say that after a big project, and it does take a little while, but then they get the itch for storytelling again. Miko Soyan, who's coming in and he's doing interiors on one of the surrounding books, he just came back to interiors. He had taken a little, I guess, semi-retirement. Looking back at the time, it was a retirement for interiors. So we'll see. But shout out to Lewis.
Yeah, just this industry isn't kind always to craftsmen and artists of Lewis caliber that need time, that need space to work, to be the best. And Lewis is the best. I think he's the best working artist today, period. And I'm glad that we had the opportunity to be the ones who would give him that room to create something that, again, I think is certainly unlike anything on the shelves today, but will stand the test of time of being one of the best comic books of this era of comic books. Wherever we're going to look back and call this age, I think Megalith and Lewis will be right there at the top of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, I mean, you know, the people on this call, we work to make comics, but like we don't sit and write, we don't sit and draw. What we do is promote. Like, this is one of the things that we do really well, and it gives us an opportunity to promote this legend, like this master, and talk about how all of your favorite creators love Lewis LaRosa. Even if you don't know his work, they are lining up to sing his praises. And I think that says a lot about this man. It gives us an opportunity to really shout that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, just look at Leonard Francis, Joe Quesada, Miko Soyan, James Harrison. These guys they're too busy. They've got projects 2-3 years out of schedule. They've come in and said, I will make time because I love Lewis's work and I want to support and celebrate him. We've never seen that in comics. That doesn't happen. One other thing I do want to say is, it reminded me, we've had a lot of people ask us, is there going to be opportunity for the original art used to publish the book, the original pages in this campaign? There is not, unfortunately. We do have one. The highest tier is the cover to issue 3. That's the only thing we were able to get our hands on. There's been a fervorous demand for Lewis's Megalith pages. They've all been snapped up months, if not years ago. In fact, the cover to issue 1 is owned by a very big Hollywood bigwig. I mean, there's some celebrity people and celebrity collectors that came in and snapped the stuff up. So unfortunately, that won't be here. We tried to do what we could with it, with the Megalith 3 cover, but unfortunately, that stuff is already out there.
Yeah, so this is the one chance. And yeah, considering its original art and considering Lewis's skill level and considering how epic this is going to be, I kind of think even at the high end, it's sort of underpriced. I think it's actually a good
Lewis's stuff. Yeah. If he was, I mean, look, he's like these pages, 6 weeks a page, just to give you a sense.
Yeah.
On average, I mean, some take longer, covers are even longer. If he was faster and produced more, that would allow him to become more well-known. I think this art would be some of the most expensive art in the business. I mean, I think he'd be up there in fine art territory, which is why you're seeing celebrity people with like this filmmaker is a huge celebrity Hollywood filmmaker. He's got a great eye. He knows what he's seeing and he knows what he's getting, and he snapped up a bunch of it because I think he thought it was well priced and he's displaying it. We were able to get the next best thing, which is Lewis again graciously gave us a handful of sketches. He's never done a commission list before. Handful of sketches for one of the tiers, I think is very well priced. I think it's the biggest bargain in the campaign, and it's moving fast. It's almost sold out. In fact, by the time we get off here, it might be sold out. So maybe I shouldn't be pushing it so hard. But that's the closest we can get to it.
Yeah, there's no doubt you'll you know, if something were to happen, you need to get your money's worth out of it. Yeah, 100% you would.
Yeah. As a sign off there, sorry, just real quick. You know, if this is your entry into Bad Idea, we welcome you. The good times are going to keep roaring. We're a seasonal publisher, and publishing season will come. So if you're diving in now, I could not be more excited about our upcoming slate. We can't talk much about it as much as I'm always trying to, but that day will come, and Megalith is going to be a bridging part of that. So shout out to everyone who's working behind the scenes to make the Bad Ideas next slate our best slate ever, and we couldn't be more excited to share that whenever we feel like we're going to.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that stuff, and to see what you guys do next. The Bad Idea Fan Cup, as you know, followers on social media will know about, and yeah, coronation coming up soon. God only knows what you guys have planned for the next.
We do have an announcement about the coronation. It's quite a sad announcement. It turns out there was some irregularities with the winner, so we had to disqualify him, and the coronation is now canceled.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
we
sad.
haven't let the winner know yet.
So sad.
I don't call him fan of the year anymore because he's been stripped of the title.
well,
that cancellation really came out of nowhere. Like no one, which is no way we knew that was going to happen. I mean, you know, what are we going to do?
For anyone that doesn't know, Jace here, in the interview here, you won the Bad Idea Fan Cup this year, and you are fan of the year and will be coronated such with a crown, scepter, cloak, the whole 9 yards, all the accoutrements in Phoenix at Samurai Comics in about a month.
Yeah, with all the accoutrements, which includes embarrassment, I'm sure.
So, big trophy.
Oh,
this trophy's huge. Trophy's
I don't know if this episode
so much embarrassment.
Title's episode should be financially irresponsible. The Bad Idea Megalith story, as our entire company flies out to Phoenix.
Yeah. Everybody's invited. You're a Bad Idea fan. Show up. It'll be a good time. Well, you know what I find interesting? I asked you guys if there's anything more about the campaign we wanted listeners to know. Nobody's actually pitched the story, like what it's actually about. We've talked about the scope of it. We've talked about how amazing the art is.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Yeah, just as kind of a capping point here. If you stuck with us, listeners, and you're like, yeah, this sounds great. What's it about? So what's the story all about?
Megalith. Okay, here's Megalith. Baltimore, present day. Out of nowhere, undetected, past the entire security net that we have on the planet, this monolithic anomaly from deep space crashes into Baltimore, obliterating 16 blocks of Baltimore. Nobody knows where it came from. Nobody knows what it wants, what's going to happen. Immediately, response teams, the police, the army, the feds, NORAD, they send 3 teams to try and breach, 3 breach teams to try and get into this monolith, okay? One team goes on top, one team goes in the middle, one team's going to try on the bottom. Team on top, helicopter lands them on there. This thing sprouts tendrils, massive tendrils and drones. It starts ripping up the streets, cars, buildings, people. The team on top as well get dismantled, and it's using this material to print itself, 3D print itself bigger. Team in the middle, same kind of thing. They get pushed off. This thing's got its own quote unquote defense systems, it seems. Team at the bottom, they can't cut in. No matter what they're doing, they can't cut in. This monolith is crashed deep into the subway. They go into the subway. That's where we meet our protagonist. Character named Officer Joyce. He's a beat cop, a subway cop. He's down there trying to help people. He's barely understands what's happening. He's not being outside. He doesn't know. It's a terrorist attack. What's going on? They meet him. He's able to help them, guide them through the subway to where they can get to the base of the thing. They can't get in. He is an amateur kind of engineer. He sees a little engineering quirk in the design of the monolith, helps them get in. And now we've got kind of a reverse Poseidon adventure where they've got to climb the top of this thing from the inside, scale it as it's growing. Meanwhile, we find out that the government has a nuclear response. This thing finally fully prints itself. It's revealed to be a giant robot mecha. It's walking to Washington, D.C. The government's about to nuke the shit out of this thing. Meanwhile, we hear there's a second larger monolith on its way to Earth. And that's the kind of premise of the story. It's a big science fiction, action, kind of mecha versus Godzilla story. Try not to give away too much of the character. There's a lot of cool character twists and emotionality in the story. Wonderful. Big scope.
Yeah. Who would want to read this story? Just, okay, set aside the fact that it's Lewis amazing art. It's just such a fantastic story. Matt has shown time and time again when it comes to sci-fi, he elevates it. And now you add in Lewis's art. I mean, yeah, it's no wonder this.
And again, this when these two things go at it, it's like lovingly built out. It's not a small fight, and it's a fight like you've never seen. I didn't even know, really, honestly, comics could do this kind of thing, or any medium. It's very, very, very big in scale and scope, and it's one to remember. I don't think anyone will read that fight and say anything but I've never seen anything like that before. I got to go back and read it again.
Fantastic. Well, everybody, you have 29 days left. 233,000 as we're chatting. 952 backers. Yeah, I can't wait to see how high this thing goes. I'm hoping it hits like 500,000. That would be amazing.
Nice.
And maybe even higher. Who knows? As you said, Josh,
it would definitely deserve it. Yeah, this book would definitely deserve to get that high.
we know the first day is always big, first few days, and then right at the end when people decide, I do have the plans. So I'm also excited to see, you mentioned, pay attention. There's going to be more things coming throughout. So I guess we'll see how high it can go. So
that's the nice thing about where we are. The first day was obviously an incredible day. And so now we can kind of have fun. We can promote the book, see however many more people we can get in to be able to try this book out. But we can also kind of reward the backers and have fun with it. And there's the pressure of hitting our goals so we can make sure that we get the books in stores in the way we want to, and people read the book. That's off us now. We can just kind of have fun with it and play with it and push it out, and hopefully involve the community in that fun. Yeah, like secret hidden code.
I'd use that word community because I was going to mention that as well. The Bad Idea fan community is such a great community and supportive of each other. And even during competitions like the Fan Cup, we're helping each other out. And Kickstarter as well. The platform really engenders a community and direct to fan sort of feel. And yeah, so you guys, you'll have the freedom to really grow that community aspect of it, because the financial pressure of making sure this thing succeeds, that's off now, right? Like, it's successful, it's funded, you're going to make the book, you're going to have the project. Now it's like, how can you reward the community back, and how can you grow that community through the end of the campaign?
It's the same thing we did with the Stop Bad Idea campaign, the last one we did, and you can see the results here. The community's grown. But yeah, we one of my favorite things was we usually send one big package at the end of the Kickstarter. We sent them a package very early, much earlier than our due date, and it was stuff that they didn't even know was coming. And I saw so many people say, "Oh my God, I backed it this year, and I'm already getting all this stuff. I haven't even got my main stuff, and I'm happy." We try to over deliver.
Mm-hmm. And it's a quick, just because you brought up a shout out to Oriana and all the crew that does the comics at Kickstarter. They are doing work that is so important to our medium, our industry right now. They have built a line to get more comics in more people's hands. I think it's what they're doing is important work. And they've been extremely supportive of everyone on this phone call personally, but also Bad Idea. So huge shout out to Oriana at Kickstarter, and to Alex Jackson, the Backer Kit crew. Those are people that we work with well to get people fulfilled on time, to get them more than they expected. Everything Dash said, she said, can't just happen in this room. Kickstarter, Backer Kit, extremely important to our business and what we're doing today. So big shout outs to those guys. Thank y'all.
Yeah, and I'll shout out you. We've talked about the creators. Dinesh, you name them all and what incredible work they're doing on this. I'll give a shout out for the rest of Bad Idea, the guys behind the scenes.
I'm going to use this to put my battery in while you talk about it. Let's talk about them, these two guys.
Yeah, it works. You guys work so hard. It's such a small team over at Bad Idea, and you guys do it. You love comics, and I think the love of the medium really shows when you're putting out content like Megalith. So again, gentlemen, really,
it should be noted. I mean, you've got three of. There's five of us. There's three on this call, and Anthony Militano and Peter Stern. Like, that's Bad Idea. So yeah, it's I think it's a testament to how hard they work. Yeah,
that's crazy. At Valiant, we had when I left Valiant, there was 55 people on staff, and there was 200 freelancers at any given time. So we're trying to compete. Valiant was trying to compete with Marvel. We're trying to compete with Valiant and Marvel. 5 people.
Yeah,
but we're having fun, and we're working hard. I don't think you slept the night before the campaign. I think you were just working it. I think you too, Josh, just working the campaign. These guys they're crazy.
Warriors. Well, no, go ahead.
I just said they're comics loco. They're crazy. Comics crazy.
It's the love of the medium and the passion for the project. So Gentlemen, fantastic chat. Thanks for taking the time. Megalith is amazing. I'll throw it over to you, Adam, right here at the end. Let people know where they can. Okay, I want to know more about a Bad Idea. I want to follow Bad Idea on social media. I want to become part of the community. Where's the best place? Where do people go to sign up? Where do people go to follow Bad Idea? Because Josh mentioned there's another slate of books coming, Bad Idea 2 Part 2. So where's the best place for people to get involved?
Well, go to Bad Idea Corp, CORP.com, and definitely check out the Bad Idea destination stores. You can see a full list of those stores, and our inventory is still there. We're on
Twitter,
Josh.
and
It's
Instagram.
Bad at Twitter and Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bad Idea. Hello at both on both of those, and
our mailing list.
honestly, and join our mailing list. Absolutely. Man, did he mention that I didn't get any sleep the other night? Yes. So we are definitely all over, but definitely go to Kickstarter. I think the last time I was there, we were at the top, definitely in the top of the comic section of Kickstarter on the live, and only you can bring Megalith to comic book stores. Like that's we're not kidding around. We need people to come in and help us, support us to build this out to be the book that it deserves, but also to give it the biggest push into comic shops that we can. And so we need you to step up in the next 29 days, something like that. So yeah.
Sure. I'll put links, as always, everybody, to the website and the social media in the show notes. So if you're having trouble finding them on whatever particular platform or what have you, you can go there. And then, yeah, like Dinesh mentioned, there's a mailing list. That really is the best thing. Like a lot of times stuff hits there. It'll hit your inbox before it's out on social media. So you want to get the head start. So if you head over to the website, you can sign up for the newsletter to make sure you're getting the news right when it drops. Yep. Bad Idea fans are passionate, man. We like to be first. Everybody wants to be that first one, and things sell out fast. Because again, small publisher, there's only so much bandwidth these guys have. So yeah, you don't want to miss things. Go sign up for that newsletter, 100%. All right. Any last thoughts, gentlemen?
Awesome. Hair. What do you think about hair? It's overrated.
It truly is. It really. I don't know why you would even bother trying to maintain that, especially growing it long. I don't know what the point there is. Yeah.
The other thing I'm thinking about hair is if you're bald, why not wear glasses? It's just not a good look if you don't have glasses. There's not enough going on.
Well,
or a beard.
This actually reminds me of so there's 4 of us on this call. Everybody's Zoom, so it's the little 4 square hair thing as we're all chatting, and it reminds me of the old school Sesame Street. One of these things is not like
yeah.
So yeah, I should kick Josh off.
Right.
He's still a youngster.
Again, gentlemen, thank you so much for the time. Listeners, watchers on YouTube, go check out the campaign. You owe it to yourself. Even if you just don't have the means to back it right now, and maybe you won't in the next 30 days. You owe it to yourself to at least go check it out and look at the gorgeous art. But the other thing you can do, as I'll remind everybody, whenever we do the crowdfunding episodes here, the best way you can help get Megalith into comic stores, other than becoming a part of this community and a part of this amazing campaign, is to share it on social media, talk to your fellow comic shop goers about it, talk to your retailer about it. We want to make sure that everybody that has a chance to back it knows about it and then has their opportunity to go select their tier. There's way too often, even myself, completely immersed in comics constantly, will find out about campaigns at the last minute or even worse, after they've already ended.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing. So share it on social media, tell your friends about it. This is epic. You're going to want to
go door to door, like stand out on the highway with a QR code. Do what you have to do to spread the word of Megalith. Come on now. Let's get this out.
Yeah. If you
are doubly important, because we've had a lot of people say to us on this campaign, I missed the last one. And it happens to me all the time. I miss campaigns, but I know that a lot of campaigns will do a second offer, or when they're closing out, they'll let you get some of the stuff. We don't do that. We don't have the manpower, frankly, the bandwidth for it. A lot of people asking us, I want the Hero Trade hardcover. I missed it last time. Can I involve it in here? Can I get it here? No, I'm sorry. The answer is no. And it'll be the same thing for this. In 29 days, when this campaign is over, that is it. We will not be making any more Megalith hardcovers or any of the stuff here. You can go to the stores and get the single issues when they come out, but that is it for everything in this campaign. We only have the bandwidth to do all of this once and in a finite time. We can't be doing it just forever.
Yeah, and one thing that you reminded me of right now, when you said that, is the fact that a lot of these extras, like the 8 books that are kind of surrounding and supporting and adding context to the main story, you're doing a print run for just the number that are ordered here. It's not like, well, maybe I can find it on the secondary market later or what have you, or maybe at a show that you guys exhibit at or something like that. That's not the case. Like, these are going to be basically print on demand, and they'll be the number that you need to do your fulfillment, and then that's it.
I'll tell you exactly the number it'll be, because it's not going to be a round number. It's going to be the exact number that we have of backers. Plus, there's a little bit to make sure that there's damages in case any of them get damaged. There's a little bit for the comps for the creators and a couple for the company, and that is it. So it is to the bone. There's no inventory, there's no excess, there's no gifting, there's no like, well, we should have some in here in case someone in the year wants, or we should sell them later. Nothing like that. It will be a very small single-digit percentage above the number you see of backers.
Yeah. So go back, everybody. Go check it out right now. As you're watching this or listening to this, go and check it out. So again, gentlemen, thanks so much for the time. Great seeing you, and I guess I'll see you all in a few weeks for the to let the embarrassment commence. So
take care, Jace. I can't wait for you to become officially fan of the year.
Yeah, that's a bad idea, fan.
Hail the Jace, he's the one.
Yeah, I was trying to convince my wife to call me actually, but that didn't really fly. Maybe
not official yet. You're a fan of the year in waiting.
Not yet. You've not yet been.
Oh, I didn't say didn't happen immediately, but I said once I received the crown and the scepter, would that?
Then it's fair. Then she should. There'd be a problem.
Fan of the year pro tem.
Consort of the year until then.
See. All right, listeners, go check out the Kickstarter. It's absolutely amazing. Thanks for sticking with us. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks.